I'm now going to hand it off to our MC, a great guy, a leader of our city, someone who's working really hard each and every day, the Honorable and wonderful Mayor Harry Rilling.
Thank you, Bob. Hey, I don't know about you, but I'm proud to stand next to a guy that was endorsed by our president. How about you? Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I think that this country is already great. Right? It's a great country, a great place to live, a great place to be free and be able to worship and to speak our minds. This is a great nation, and we're going to continue down that path in November by voting for Hillary Clinton. Yeah! Voting for Richard Blumenthal. Voting for Jim Himes. Voting for Bob Duff. Voting for Chris Perone. Voting for Randy Klein. How about that? You all right? Now it gives me great pleasure to introduce someone who's probably really, really very busy the past few weeks, few months, and somebody who is really, really looking forward to, well, she's probably going to be busy on Wednesday too. But well, you're going to be busy for a couple of weeks after this. But anyway, gives me great pleasure to introduce Connecticut's own Secretary of State, Denise Merrill.
Warren. Thanks, everybody. What a great day. I hope it's like this next Tuesday, because then we will totally take the leadership. And that's what we're all about here today. I just want to let you know that Connecticut is going to be voting on Tuesday in big numbers. We have increased the voter registration in the state above any number ever in history in the state. And I'm really proud of that, because we've worked very hard to make sure that it's easy for people to register and vote. That's what we're all about, because I think democracy works when everybody participates. That's our goal. And I want to talk a little bit about leadership, because that's what this is really about. This is our opportunity as a country to elect leaders who will lead us in the right direction. And right here in Norwalk, you have some amazing leaders. And I was just thrilled this morning when I heard that Bob Duff was endorsed by President Obama. That's just amazing. So congratulations, Bob. I mean, that just shows you the kind of leadership you have, particularly in this community, is great. I was in the legislature for a long time. I served with, I think, all of you really over time. And you know, we've worked on everything from economic development with Chris Perone. He and I did a majority leaders report on that. He's been working on it ever since. I know Bruce works hard in the community. You know, there's so much going on here, and I think we have to remember these people are counting on you. You are the ones that are going to make this happen Tuesday, all across the country. You know, Republicans have a lot to say, but they will never outwork us. And that is how we have won in Connecticut. And I also think, you know, throughout this whole contentious election, where I heard things said in this country that I never thought I would live to see, including a suggestion that a candidate will not abide by the peaceful transfer of power in this country, questioning the very heart of our democracy, our election process. I have to say, I think I have never been more proud to be a Democrat, and I have never been more proud to be on, I think, the right side of history. And I think that will bear me out on Tuesday. We are on the right side of history. We have to keep being inclusive and just and fair to everyone in this country. And I hope you come out with your hearts and souls for everybody up here and for Hillary Clinton on Election Day. I'm looking forward to it, and thank you all for everything you do. Thanks.
Thank you, Denise.
Thank you, Denise.
Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
You know, I believe she said that there were over 300,000 new registered voters in the state of Connecticut.
That's right. Huge.
And you know, all we can do is keep our fingers crossed that they're registering the right way. So now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the candidates that are running locally. I'm going to start off with candidate Chris Perone. Chris.
Thank you very much. Well, it's great to be here. This is a great turnout, and I think I can't believe the weather that we're having. And I want to thank President Obama for sending his emissary, Bob Duff, here. It's a great honor, and you know, it really does go to the fact that Bob Duff really is one of the hardest working legislators I know. He doesn't leave anything in the locker room, as he said. He really does work hard. I also do want to thank the union turnout. The fact is, our economy rests on our housing, on our manufacturing, on our ability to create the jobs that are going to put money into our local economies and help drive our state forward. We cannot get there without you guys, and I just want to say thank you for everything that you guys are doing. My campaign is basically simple. We are running on you know, what we've done in the legislature to try to make sure that we're doing everything we can to make our state competitive, to make our state a place where people want to live, work, and raise a family. And we are, with the team I got behind me, we're able to do a lot of that. I think that our focus has been on that for so long that we, you know, when we hear what's going on at the federal level, we can't comprehend it. You know, it's a lot of just negative, puerile personality stuff that isn't. You know, it's sort of a nice to talk a good game about making America great, and then you turn around and insult Miss America. It's just incomprehensible to me. I just, in all of recorded history, I think I've only heard of anything that's, well, you know, so stupid. So, let me put it this way. You're going to go in to vote on Tuesday. You're really voting for making our country strong again, making our goals, our mission to make our place, our country, a great place to raise a family, but also to also just double down on your assertion that you want a country where people respect each other, where the focus is on job creation, treating each other civilly, and creating a country to be proud of. And you're all here to help that happen. I just again want to thank you very much. But you know, we look forward to just representing you in the legislature because we share those same values. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris. You know, as a mayor, I have a unique perspective of the state delegation. I count, no, a good one. I count on them to bring the bucks from Hartford back to Norwalk. And I can tell you unequivocally that Bob and Chris and Bruce have worked so hard in order to do that. And I know that they are going to continue to do that because they really care about Norwalk. They work so hard up in Hartford to make that happen. So I just want to thank them personally for all the things that they've done for Norwalk from Hartford. So thank you. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce another state rep who is running for re-election, Bruce Morris.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you. Thank you to everyone that came out here today. And you guys fantastic. Carpenters, United Auto Workers, Teamsters, and just general citizens. Good Democrats, raise your hands. All the good Democrats. There you go. Come on, let's give all the good Democrats a hand. We're down to the waning days, and we're going to work hard. It's already been said, we work harder than others. It's been my pleasure, my honor to be a part of this delegation. A delegation of Democrats who during tough times have made tough decisions to make certain that those at the bottom, those at the middle, that all the residents of the state of Connecticut can be not worried about the Greatest Depression, but thinking about a future where everyone has real opportunities. Thinking about a state that understands it needs to retool itself, and we're willing to reinvest in doing that. I'm proud we made tough decisions, and guess what? I'm hoping that everyone else makes a decision that really isn't tough on Tuesday. A decision is for the people. For a government that's for the people, by the people, and actually benefits the people, because that's what Democrats do. Democrats are worried about the fact that working people from all different strata are able to participate in our government. So I'm not going to take a lot of time because we've got a couple of days left. And the big deal is, you know what, if we can get our senator, get an endorsement all the way from Washington, D.C., I think the rest of us in the city of Norwalk can say, guess what, Norwalk and the state of Connecticut is on the map. Let's make certain that Democrats, that our voices are heard loud throughout this nation. The Democrats come out and say, this is definitely a blue state. And in the city of Norwalk, more than anything else, that we get our voter turnout. Where's the secretary? Where'd Denise go? She left. She's gone. Well, guess what? I don't know what the percentages were last time. People talk about what the turnouts are. But here in the city of Norwalk, let's push out the greatest voter turnout as never before. I'm looking forward to greater things going forward. Thank you to all of you. We get it done together.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bruce.
This was important enough that I took off for my birthday to be here for
Yeah, I
you.
was going to say, it's Bruce's birthday today. 29 years old.
You get the free ice cream later.
There you go. Yeah, seriously, this is that important. I said, Bob, it's my birthday. I said, but you know what? If it takes this, is what we need to do to rally all of our Democrats. Guess what? I'm looking for a brand new day. I put it on my Facebook page. I said, I'm looking for, birthdays are, thank God for the past, but I'm looking for a brighter future. How about you?
All right. So let's give Bruce his birthday wish and get out there and vote. Now, the next person going to address you is a young man who is working very, very hard. His work ethic is unmatched. He is really out there working hard every day, pounding the pavement, knocking on doors, making telephone calls, because he knows how important it is to bring back good leadership and continue that good leadership in Hartford. His significant other is here. So, former first select woman of Darien and now the Commissioner of Housing for the state of Connecticut. Yvonne, nice to have you here. And it gives me great, great pleasure to introduce the next representative to go up in Hartford from Norwalk and Darien, Randy Klein.
All right, Randy.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Norwalk. Look, you don't have to look too far around you to see the great people that we have here and the great accomplishments. I've moved here 2 years ago, and you can see what Norwalk has done in the past 2 years under the stewardship of Mayor Rilling. So thank you, Mayor, for all that you've done here in the last several years. Look, elections are about choices, although this year there really shouldn't even be a choice. The choice is clear. You can have a candidate at the top of the ticket that embraces science. How about that? The other side doesn't even believe in science. Our side believes in job creation. Our side believes in negotiating with other parties that may not agree with us on everything. So think of that the next time you go into the voting booth on Tuesday. Think about the Supreme Court, that we must have a ninth justice on the Supreme Court to stand up for us. Think about how the other side has suppressed that ability of the president to bring forward a nominee and even vote on him. So make sure you do that on Tuesday and elect Secretary Clinton to the presidency. So what I'd like to talk about is what I'm going to do for Norwalk. We need jobs here. We need jobs across the state. We have a crumbling transportation infrastructure, and I'm going to go up to Hartford and fight for that for you. We also need housing. We also need to stand up for the environment. We got to get gun control under control. So that's what I'm going to do when I have the opportunity, but I can't do it unless I have your support. So please get out and vote for all these guys on Tuesday, and get out and vote for me, Randy Klein, 141st District. Vote row A for everybody on Tuesday. Thank you very much.
We also have 4 charter revision questions on the ballot. I'll read up on them. I firmly believe that all of them should pass, but the choice is yours. That's what the democracy is all about. There are 4 ballot questions. One, should the mayor's term be increased from 2 years to 4 years? Ed has some flyers if you wish. Should the council pay be increased? Remember, the councilmen have only been paid $600 a year. That's $50 a month before taxes since 1980. And, they spend more than that on a lot of their own things that they're doing, going to events and helping out and so forth. So should the council pay be increased to 2% of the mayor's salary, which would give them somewhere around $2,700 a year as opposed to $600 a year. There's also some ballot questions about gender neutrality. So instead of saying councilman, they'll say councilperson. That's something very important. And also there's a ballot question relative to some positions in the city that traditionally have been, in the past, had some function and so forth, that kind of over the years, their function has kind of gone away. And by removing them from the charter, it'll allow the Board of Education and other people to be on the front of the ballot rather than on the back where some people don't turn it over. But anyway, now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce, and I don't really have to introduce him because everybody knows him, our host, the young man from Norwalk who was endorsed by Barack Obama, our great, great president, right? I mean, come on. Let's give Barack Obama a nice round of applause. So our host and your senator, now and in the future, Bob Duff.
Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? We excited? We're excited. We're just 3 days away from having the first woman president of the United States of America. Let's get excited about that. We know she's going to win, but it's going to take everybody to get out and vote on Election Day. We need to make sure we get everybody out there. We need to support Hillary Clinton for President of the United States. We've got to support Richard Blumenthal in his re-election to the United States Senate. We've got to support Jim Himes for the U.S. Congress again. And let's support Chris Perrone and Bruce Morris and Randy Klein. Let's make sure we have row A all the way. 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 All right. Thank you. So I appreciate everybody coming out here on a Saturday to help get some energy and get the rally out here and make sure that we tell everybody to get out to vote. Everybody always knows when we talk about how important an election is, that every election is super important. This election is very, very important, and I'll tell you why. First reason is, one is we're electing the first female president of the United States. Second is that we have a fifth justice of the Supreme Court. We need to make sure that person understands the rights of the American people, is going to stand up for working people in this country, is going to stand up for the rights of everybody in this country, not just the few. We need to make sure that person there understands that the Constitution is a living, breathing document and that it needs to be interpreted so that we can have same-sex marriage, we can have rights, we can make sure we're protecting people from gun violence, we can do all the things that we know and we believe in each and every day. So that's really important. Secondly, we have to have a Congress that is democratic so that they can put through the things that Hillary Clinton wants to put through, such as infrastructure investments, keeping our union and our labor folks at work, to make sure that we're working hard to rebuild this country, not tear down this country. Let's rebuild this country again. Let's invest in education, let's invest in transportation, and let's make sure we're competing across the world economy. And that's why we need Richard Blumenthal and Jim Himes in Congress as well. But let me also tell you this. In Connecticut, here's the story that nobody talks about, and this is why this rally is so important. It is important because in Connecticut, people go and they vote for the President of the United States, then they leave. We have the highest drop-off of for voters for the rest of the ticket across the entire country. We need to make sure that when we tell folks to get out and vote, that they vote not just for president, but they vote down the entire ballot, all the way from president down to state representative and even the registrar of voters. It is that important. Think about the things that we have done in Connecticut to right this ship. Things that we've done in Connecticut to invest in people. Things that we've done in Connecticut to make sure that we are moving this state forward. That happens with a Democratic legislature. Let me tell you this. We've had many years in Connecticut, as Denise Merrill has said, we have expanded our voting rights. We now have Election Day registration. We have a registration so that everybody can participate. We've expanded voting rights. What have they done in other states? In red states, they have actually reduced people's rights to vote. That's not a national issue. That is a state issue. When it comes to making sure that we're increasing graduation rates across the country, that is done through state legislative action, not through the Congress. When we think about how we're going to rebuild our infrastructure, how we're going to make sure we maintain roads like Route 7, we're going to keep the roads paved here in Norwalk. We're going to fix the bridges. We're going to invest in places that keep our labor folks at work. Lots of those decisions are made at the state level. So we have to tell people, please make sure when you go out to vote, and if you vote row A, you vote row A all the way, to make sure that the Democrats stay in office in the legislature as well. We are working hard. We're growing jobs. We just announced last week we have 8,000 jobs for Sikorsky. That is great news. That had never been happening before. 8,000 jobs that are good paying jobs. Those jobs pay an average of $94,000 per year. That's going to return over $62 billion to our local economy, our statewide economy. We have 8,000 jobs coming with electric boat in southeast Connecticut. Pratt & Whitney, who said under the previous administration, anywhere but Connecticut, they can't hire fast enough after we made an agreement with them. That's going to bring 8,000 jobs to the state of Connecticut for them as well, advanced manufacturing jobs. And let's not forget, we have Henkel coming in from Arizona, NBC Universal that I was just at the other day. They're hiring faster than they've even promised. We have Comcast, Frontier. We have a lot of companies in this area coming, growing jobs as well. So we need to continue what we're doing. The seeds are sprouting. We're working hard. We're staying positive, and that's why we need everybody out to vote on Tuesday. There's really no excuses. As Denise said, it's going to be great weather. We want to make sure everybody gets out. If they can't get out, we want to get them an absentee ballot. So lastly, I just want to say, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. Dan Walsh, you're a hero. Thank you for being out here today. We appreciate it very much. We appreciate those little dancers. They're the cutest things we've ever seen. That's the talent we have in Norwalk. That's the great things we have going on in this city. This city is on fire. This city is moving forward. This city is working hard. And we're going to make sure that we continue to work with our great mayor, Harry Rilling, in partnership so that the state of Connecticut and the city of Norwalk and the federal government are working together to improve this city each and every single day.